Hi, it's Tony Joe from Remax Camosun here in fantastic Victoria, British Columbia. It is August the 1st, 2012 right now. This is our weekly sales stats report. Actually, this is a recap of what happened in July 2012. But before we begin, I have to just point your attention to the fantastic scenery. We're right now at Turkey Head, which is at the Oak Bay Marina. It is probably one of the most beautiful places here in Victoria. And I'd just like you to have a look around here. Over this way is the marina itself, so there's a lot of sailboats, boating. There's a little beach down below. I don't think you'll be able to catch that on the video here. Up around the other side, we've got under construction the new Oak Bay Beach Hotel, which will be opened up in just a little while. And of course, there's the scenic drive there, which is Beach Drive as well. And today, it is pretty well summer. I mean, the car set is 25 degrees. I don't even know why I'm wearing a jacket today, but anyways, it is just gorgeous. So let's talk about the numbers. July ended up with 523 sales, and that actually is exactly on par with July 2011, which also was 523 sales. Now, the interesting thing about that is we did not end up as strongly as we started off. The month started off very strong. The first week we had a good number of sales. The likelihood is that it was a result of the changing banking practices because, as you probably remember, July the 9th was a cutoff going from being able to qualify for a 30-year amortization down to 25-year. So that's one of the things that's happened. We've had 1,242 new listings for the month versus 1,374 last year. I've said this a couple times now, new listings aren't coming in quite as heavily as they were before. But inventory in total ended up at 5,178 versus 5,094 for last year. Now, I wrote a blog just on Monday, and I'll put the link on the video here. But I was in Calgary for a little bit, just visiting, and I was looking at the numbers comparatively speaking. Now, Calgary is a town about 1.2 million people, which compares to Victoria's 340,000 thereabouts, so about 3 times the size. In June of 2012, Calgary had 2,200 sales, which is roughly about 3 times the number of sales that we had as well. Now, the thing that is very interesting is that we had 5,000 listings, just the same as we do right now. Calgary, 3 times the size, 3 times the sales, had 5,700 listings. So we are virtually on par inventory-wise. And the other thing to look at is that we have 1 sale for every 8 listings in the market, whereas Calgary has 1 sale for every 2.6. Now, what does this tell me? It tells me that we've got too much inventory. We've got too much inventory. For a population our size, we should be more like around 2,000 or 2,200 listings. I know that sounds kind of strange, but on the flip side as well, people are wondering why Victoria house prices haven't started dumping yet. Because when you think about it, it is a lot of listings, a lot of choice. The churn rate is not as high. But it has to do with the market fundamentals of Victoria. It's because of the fact that we are not just a sole industry town. And the reality is we're not going to see a major drop or a major dump like other marketplaces see as well too. So it's always a very stable place to be. Anyways, again, have a look at that blog, and I'll put the link down below here in the video. But those are the stats for this month. How are things looking? I think we're going to be stable again for the month of August. I actually expected our numbers to be weaker at the end of this month and not being able to meet the July 2011 figures, but again, we evened out. And the last thing I want to leave you with is this. As you probably know, as a real estate professional, we work with both sellers and buyers. And I'm looking at this number right here saying there's a lot of sellers out there in the marketplace, but the thing is, my team is telling me that they're having a hard time finding good properties for buyers. So that doesn't really seem right because there's a high number of listings. But again, the reality is there is not a lot of well-priced, attractive properties. There's a lot of the other properties, there's a lot of things that are overpriced and maybe shouldn't even been there in the marketplace. But we are looking for good, well-priced properties. Anyways, that's the report of the week. I'm Tony Joe, and we'll see you this time next week.